we race. Perfect start from Nicola as Carol dives down the inside to go into P2. And Matias Ferreira, as happened yesterday a couple of times in the heats, he's been hung out to dry. He's lost a ton of time. He's back into P5, just ahead of Flavio Olivieri. Great start by Gustav Wisniewski. You'll see the Sauber Kart Republic. It's getting messy though as Ferreira fights back, fighting with Olivieri Trentin as well. They go by Andrea Vibriantite's kart. She's out before the start. That's a real disappointment for the Lithuanian girl who was so impressive in the WSK Supermaster Series earlier on in the season, particularly down at La Concomuro Leggese. But we've already lost our first driver in the pre-final before the start of the race. Andrea is out. Nicola leads. Across the line in P2 goes Karol Pashovic. Maxim Rem up into P3. Saves his best for last. Has made a brilliant start. 2:25 for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. He's just ahead Zachary David. Great to have Zach back on track. You know what happened here in the WSK Open Cup. That not so memorable incident which caused many of us to age about 10 years in just a few moments. Zach was involved in that. But it's great to see the Filipino driver back on track. He was in a kart not too long just after that incident, that nasty incident that we don't want to remember too fondly. A broken ankle, but now he's been picked up by the Sauber Kart Republic team. He runs in P4, so no ill effects. Of course it helps when you're just 13 or 14 years of age. You're invincible, aren't you? Zach David runs in P4 behind Maxim Rem, the German. Ahead of Yilibet Chichka. There's the check. 2-2-3. Yidi has come from the 6th row of the grid for the Paralin Racing Czech Republic team. Yidi up into P5, goes by Matias Ferreira. Has not made a good start. This happened a couple of times yesterday. But he has got the speed. We look for the boy from Brasilia in Brazil. Kart 206 in 6th place. Comes across the line right about now as Nicola disappears down into turn 1. Nikola Zolov, Karol Pashovic, Zachary David. Ahead of Maxim Rem, Yilibet Chichka, Ferreira. Felix Arnold up into 7 in the early stages of pre-final A. Wisniewski. And the first Italian, il primo italiano in questa gara, Flavio Olivieri. L'altro, Nicolo Kuman. So just the 2 Italians in this race as Adrian Labuda circulates slowly with a problem for the KRZ Motorsport team. The pole on debut in WSK has just come to a stop at the exit of turn 2. The 2 Italians in this race, Flavio Olivieri in position 9. As you look at Wisniewski being attacked by Flavio, they come across the line under the bridge. Felix Arnold going by. There's Jesse Lacey, the Australian, and the second Italian, Nicolo Kuhlmann. For Forza Racing, Nicolo Kuhlmann, 2:16 in 14th place, and up and down 2021. The Forza Racing team driver, so quick on occasion, a little bit inconsistent, if we're brutally honest. Sorry, Nicolo. But he's in 14th at the moment, behind his Slovenian teammate, Mark Kastelic. Nicolo Kuhlmann did not set a time in qualifying when the reeds basically disintegrated as soon as he left the pit, so had to come from the back of the grid in each of the heats. His Forza Racing teammate, the Slovenian ski racer Mark Kastelic, just ahead. As Nikola Zolov pulls away, disappears down the road. This is ominous. Karol Pashovic in P2. There is Zach back on track to attack. He's in 3rd place. Maxim Rem, Matias Ferreira fights up to 5. Ahead of Yilibet Chichka, the Czech. There is Yiri behind Matias in 2:06. Kart Republic Motorsport. Ahead of Gustav Wisniewski and Felix Arnold in 2:41. He's the top German for the CFI Performance Group. Jesse Lacey, the Australian, in P9, who took part in the Ferrari Driver Academy shootout effectively just a few weeks ago at Fiorano, which was ultimately won by Ollie Bierman, who incidentally took out the Italian F4 Championship, powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion. Ollie racing with us in that WSK Presented Series, dominating to become the first Brit to win the Italian Championship. And signed up by Ferrari. Jesse Lacey was one of 4 drivers in that shootout as well, as was Rafa Kamara, who'll be on track in pre-final B at the conclusion of this one. So Nikola Zolov on your screen, 2-2-0. What a combination this is from Sofia in Bulgaria, not too far from the Black Sea, under the nation we once knew as the Soviet Union. He's driving for the Spanish DPK racing team, Diego Paulo Karting, based in Asturias, the same circuit. Yes, that very track which is owned by Fernando and features one of the most incredible motor racing museums in the world. It is the Fernando Alonso Museum and Circuit in Asturias. That is where the DPK team are based, and their Bulgarian driver from the other side of the European continent, on the very edge of it, leads the race. Prochashka goes through. Jason Lung, the Canadian, the final non-qualifying position at the moment. We're down to 18. The first 17 to go through. Andrea Vibriantite, she was out before the start. And Jason Lung, the Canadian, one of 65 drivers making their WSK competition debut this weekend for the last race of 2021. Nikola Zolov, we know him very, very well. He's raced with us in WSK for the past few seasons. He's in P1. He's driving away from the rest of the field. Half race distance, and the gap is now over 2 seconds, and he puts down a 48.418 to demoralize the opposition. Karol Pashovic in P2. When you do get a moment, check out the official Facebook page of WSK Promotion and also WSK Promotion on Instagram. There is an incredible video. Karol Pashovic yesterday in one of the heats into the first corner off the start, a complete 360, went around, rejoined, was back to last and finished in 10th. We captured that with the onboard footage. We published it online. It is incredible. Give it a like, give it a share. It is certainly worth watching. Karol Pashovic in 3rd place now. He's just been passed by Zachary David. New team colours for the end of 2021, teaming up with Joachim Ward's team. As Zach back on track for the Salvacat Republic team. Just coming up to the corner where that nasty crash did happen 2 months ago. And of course, Nicola Lacorte and Eliška Babičková. We wish them both well. Eliška already back in a kart in the last few weeks, and we look forward to see Nicola back on track with us in 2022 as well, as Nicola just drives away from the opposition, and he'll put more time on the rest of the pack as well, as Karol retakes 2nd place. As they fight, Nicola pulls away. There is Matthias Ferreira. Started on the outside of the front row of the grid. He's now up into P4, starting to catch Zach David. Maxim Rem, the German behind for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. 225, the Vortex-powered Cosmic. He's about to be passed, though, because Gustav, with a gutsy send into turn 3, just makes the move. And Maxim Rem has no choice but to cede the place to the pole. The top pole is Karol in 2nd place. The response, Wisniewski, who now goes by, in fact, that's Ferreira. So he's taken 2 drivers in just half a lap. Ram will line up the Brazilian as well, who's gone from 2nd back to 6th to 4th, and now he's back in 6th as well. Matthias Ferreira in 6th place, so that will be a Grid 12 start provisionally for the final this afternoon. Matthias Ferreira from the Brazilian capital of Brasilia, being managed by Gastel Fragas, the 1995 world champion. GP management, Gastel here with us at the circuit in Adria this weekend. As the Salvacat Republic goes around, Wisniewski will wait to confirm this, or Zachary David has gone around in the middle of the circuit. In fact, it's Maxim Rem. Apologies, it's Maxim who's gone around. A bizarre incident. He was by himself. Maxim Rem is out. Nicola Kuhlmann has also retired just a few moments ago. So we're waiting to see if that's the end of Maxim Rem's weekend. Maxim Rem went around. That was a bizarre incident. Zoloff 4 seconds down the road ahead of Pashovic, Zachary David, Wisniewski, Ferreira in 5. Maxim Rem is out, but due to the retirements of Andrea Vibriantite, Labuda, and Nikola Kuhlmann, watch this. Oh, was there contact? Okay, we'll take that back. He wasn't by himself. He did potentially make contact with one of the Kart Republics, or vice versa. It looked as though they were too far back at first sight, but that Kart Republic was awfully close to the back of the Ricky Flynn Motorsport Cosmic as they entered the turn 5 hairpin. Maxim Rem is out. As it stands, he's classified in 17th position because Kuhlmann retired. Adria and Labuda, who was circulating, slowly retired. As the two Sauber Kart Republics of Zachary David and Gustav Wisniewski trade positions, Gustav goes by and takes Zach for 3rd place. And Andrea Vibriantite, she was out before the start. So Maxim Rem has retired, but is provisionally in 17th place and may well still be able to start the final this afternoon, albeit from grid 34. He was running in P5, but the German has retired. We're down to the final 16. Jason Lung, the Canadian, is therefore through. He's in 16th place regardless of what happens in the remaining 2 laps. Nikola Zoloff is dominating pre-final A of the WSK Final Cup. Karol Pashovic, we wait. There is the pole. There are the 2 Sauber Kart Republics. And Matthias in P5. The 206 Kart Republic. Jesse Lacey, a brilliant drive from the Australian in P6 for the Chemic Racing Europe team. Ahead of the German Felix Arnold, Giovanni Trentin, Olivieri and Nuradini, who's now with the Kart Republic team in P10. So they will all qualify for the final with the retirement of Maxim Rem. Sideways, coming onto the straight. Don't throw it away now, Carol. That was a big moment for Pashovic coming onto the straight. The left rear LeConte tyre was airborne in the dirt, in the grass. And the Sauber Kart Republic drivers of Gustav Wisniewski and Zachary David saw that. His countryman right behind. The Poles in 2 and 3, the Filipino in P4. It was almost the end of the race for Karol Pashovic. Zoloff will win pre-final A. He has dominated this morning. He has dominated all week. Rounds the final few corners. Fastest in qualifying, pole sitter after time qualifying. 5 out of 5 heat wins and the pre-final win this morning. Karol Pashovic does bring it home just in 2nd place. The gap is 5.3 seconds, a 48 dead for Zoloff on the final lap of the race to demoralize the opposition. Prochaska across the line ahead of Kastelic. Maciej Prausch and Jason Lung, the Canadian, is through to the final on debut in WSK competition. There is the driver who is, I'm trying to think of the right cliche, red hot favourite, yeah, we'll go with that. Took pole position on Friday in qualifying with a time of 47.370, 5 out of 5 heat wins. And as you can see on your screen, he dominates the pre-final, winning by over 5 seconds. Karol Pashovic in 2nd place. Zachary David does take 3rd from Wisniewski for header. Great drive from Jesse P6. Trentin, Arnold, Olivieri, Nuradini 10, Bachiska 11. Menya Krocher for the last performance of the Cosmic Racing Department 12. Prochaska is through, Kastelic, Prausch, Jason Lung, the Canadian in 16th. And despite going out 5 laps from the end, Maxim Rem